All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to lesson 19. We're talking about the relationship between multiplication and division. So, a couple of things we need to go over and review again, left over from lesson 15. Numbers that are multiplied together are called factors. The answer to any multiplication problem is called the product. If you had 8 times 5 equals 40, 8 and 5 are factors. The answer 40 is the product. This is review. Both of these words can be found in the glossary in the back of your book or on page 94. Also from yesterday, a little bit more review talking about inverse operations. Two opposite math operations, and we should have learned yesterday multiplication and division are considered to be inverse operations. If you had the factors of 6 and 2, 6 times 2 gives you a product of 12. Well, if we just reverse that, 12 divided by 2 would give you 6. This gives us the basis of our fact families, if you remember those. So, searching for a missing factor is called division. A division problem is kind of like a miniature multiplication table. The product is shown inside a symbol called a division box. And if we have this problem set up in a division box, this is pronounced 12 divided by 2. You say the number inside the box first. This is not 2 divided by 12. It's 12 divided by 2. So you got to think, 2 times what number equals 12? Well, if we're trying to divide, and if we needed our multiplication table, if we're dividing by 2, you want to look in the 2 row until you come across 12 and then go straight up. That's why they kind of consider it like a miniature multiplication table. If I went straight up from 12, I'd find out that my missing factor was 6. So let's check out another one here. This is pronounced 28 divided by 4. You gotta think, 4 times what number is gonna give me 28? If you're not sure, you can use your handy dandy multiplication chart. I'm dividing by 4, so I'm looking in the 4 row until I come to 28 and take it straight up to find the other missing factor. In this case, that would be 7. 4 times 7 equals 28. Let's try one more again. This is not pronounced 8 divided by 72. He's truly pronounced 72 divided by 8. So we have to think, 8 times what number equals 72? Looking for that missing factor. Again, if you're not sure, we're dividing by 8, so you're going to look in the 8 row until you come across 72 and take it straight up to find the missing factor. In this case, it would be 9. 9 times 8 equals 72. So they're going to go and ask us to write 2 multiplication facts and 2 division facts for the fact family 4, 6, and 24. One thing I need to get clarified today. When we write fact families, I want them set up horizontally. I will not accept them being set up vertically anymore. When we're writing out the fact families, they must be set up horizontally. So let's start off with our multiplication first. I can use them just in order right now. 4 times 6 is 24. But we also have the commutative property, so I can just switch the order of my factors, right? If I switch the order of the factors, I can now have 6 times 4 equals 24. Let's go and reverse and do the inverse operation for our two division facts. If I went and reversed the order, I could now have 24 divided by 6 equals 4. And for our last one, if we reverse the order again using the inverse operation, 24 divided by 4 equals 6. But the important thing is, from here on out, make sure we write our fact families horizontally. So also a little bit of review from yesterday. Remember, anytime you have a number next to a variable, otherwise known as a letter, that would mean multiply. If I had a problem like this, 5f equals 20, you really have to think of it as 5 times f equals 20. So when you go and isolate a variable in a multiplication equation, you got to change the times into divide. If I needed to get the variable f by himself, I'm going to go and circle the 5 times, kick them over to the other side. I don't have to worry if the first term is the variable or the second term. I always do the opposite sign. So I'm going to isolate the variable. I'm going to kick the 5 and the times over to the other side. I end up with f equals 20 divided by 5. So then all you have left to do is to combine these two terms. What is 20 divided by 5? 20 divided by 5 is 4. F equals 4. So it's always a good idea to go and try to plug the number in place of the variable just to double check. Would this make sense? 5 times 4 equals 20? Yes, it does, so you know you are good to go. Let's go and try one like this, because it seemed to be messing with us a little bit yesterday. Here we have 6 times 6 equals h times 9. Well, the first thing we would have to do is combine terms. I have 6 times 6 on the same side of the equal sign, right? So what is 6 times 6? Hopefully everybody knows. 6 times 6 is 36. Then go and write down everything else that's not underlined. I didn't underline the equals, h, the times, or the 9. So now I have 36 equals h equals what times 9? Here's where we got into a little bit of confusion yesterday. When it was time to isolate the variable, get h by himself, we're kicking the opposite direction than we've done. I have to move times 9 over here to the other side. So we always want to put the big number first. So I still have 36, but now I'm taking this times 9 and I'm kicking them over to the other side and doing the inverse operation. I don't want to do times 9 anymore. What's the inverse operation of times? That would be divide. I want to go ahead and change times 9 into divide by 9. And then equals h. One last step, I have to combine terms. What is 36 divided by 9? 36 divided by 9, hopefully you know, that's going to give us 4. 4 equals h. So 6 times 6 is 36 equals 4 times 9. 36 equals 4 times 9. 4 times 9 equals 36. Yeah, it does make sense if I plug the number in place of the variable. So that, my friends, is the end. You are definitely going to want a scratch piece of paper and a multiplication chart for the Socrative quiz. Go slow, go careful, and good luck.